Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. I was just taking a look at our new upgraded kayaks with the NK180 from Newport. So I bet you're wondering how we got to this point. Well, basically, one day we were out paddling in the wind and was like, damn, this sucks a lot. And then we got back to land and Gene was like, man, what if we got motors? So then we went up to Mariner Sales and Eris was like, have I got a deal for you? And then that's basically how we got here. Oh, hi again. Glad to see you came back. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna break down the setups. We'll start with the Oldtown and then we'll do the Bonafide just to give you an idea of what it takes to set this up for your kayak. So when we start up at the front, I'm gonna use this front hatch to mount the Railblaza nav lights. Basically, that's going to be a really easy way to power the red and green lights. That'll make it legal for launching at sunrise, sunset, stuff like that. But also, I don't have to run any internal power for that. I'm pretty sure that the Railblaza is ran by like AA batteries or something like that. So it'll be a lot easier than having to wire and do stuff like that. So when you start coming back towards the cockpit, if you will, these are custom foot pedals that actually run with the Newport setup. So a company called Select makes these, and Mariner Sales actually works directly with them to do a replacement from what your current foot pedals are to these Select. And what that does is these are a lot smoother when you're steering with your left and right feet. So instead of having the click, 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 click of like the one that you have right now, this gives you a smooth transition when you're turning left or right. And then when we come past the foot pedals, you're going to notice this big guy sticking off of a gear track. This is the throttle that comes with the NK180. So a couple of quick notes about this. First, you're going to notice it actually comes with a kill switch. And this is just a magnet. So you can see how my throttle started blinking as soon as I pulled that off. That's for safety. Basically, if you fall out of the kayak, you're going to have this kill switch attached to your PFD. And as soon as this magnet gets pulled off, boom, motor cuts off. So another quick note to think about with this throttle, this is basically going to be your main control for the entire system. One thing is this is set up to run either a lithium or a regular lead acid battery. So what you have to do is make sure you actually switch your mode, which can do a lithium, or the D, which stands for lead acid battery. So on the sides of the seat, you'll notice this bright red handle and this blue handle. And what this is basically like your motor trim if you were in a regular boat. It's labeled with lift, and basically that's exactly what it does. So when you pull this, it lifts your motor up. So if you're going into grass, coming in after a long day, whatever, you're gonna wanna lift that motor up and not drag it through the mud. And then back behind the seat, you're gonna notice we have this battery box. You can use pretty much any generic battery box. The one that we have here was from Mariner Sales. It's an Atwood Seaguard battery case. And when we look inside, you can see it houses our 24-volt FPV battery. Now you can run pretty much any kind of battery you want to make this setup work. We just went for the maximum amount of power, and instead of running two batteries parallel, we get the straight 24 volts thanks to Mariner Sales and FPV. Okay, so when we get to the back, the main part of this setup is obviously going to be the motor. So we've got a heavy duty bracket, but you'll notice that I still have the one ejective plate that I use for my power pole. The upside to this setup is pretty much any of these brackets that they use from Newport. Not only is it heavy duty, but it lines up with the 4 holes that you use for the power pole mounting brackets. So it was a really quick swap. Unfortunately, I did have to sacrifice my power pole, but it's one of those things, it's like an either or. So I still have the option to put it on if I want to take the bracket off, but most of the time I think I'm just going to be running this motor. The other thing you'll notice about this guy is you have a series of carabiners that run multiple different purposes. So the top one is going to be that lift that we just talked about. The middle, this is going to be your reverse handle, which is that bright red. So you can see it's all kind of color coded. We've got red for this one, green for this one. And then these two on the side, you guessed it, that's gonna basically run your steering that connects to those foot pedals. So when I pull to the right, it turns to the right. When I pull to the left, it pulls to the left. And all that's gonna be run directly from those foot pedals. Like to mention, we're using the Railblazer starport up in the front so we can actually use our navigation lights. The Bonafides are actually pre-molded with all these line runs, so you can actually mount whatever motor you have in the back. It also has these 4 pre-drilled holes already, so I can actually mount the motor like a power pole, so I didn't have to buy any other platforms. Luckily, my Bonafide has these gear tracks out in the back, so I can actually add these adjustable straps to hold my battery down. And it can go either here or here, so I can actually put my crate inside too. So basically, this is what you could consider our evolution to the next stage of our kayaking game. So we used to have the power poles, now we've got motors, and this is really going to change up the game for our days to where we can go longer distances, fish for longer, and kind of really enjoy the time out there. So if you want to check out this motor package, you can come to Mariner Sales, or you can go to mariner-sales.com to check out the pricing, the list, everything you would need there. And as always, we appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Real Gills adventures.